Hi, I'm Tim Dodds, Executive Director of Happy Valley Conference Center. Caring about this creek has been part of Happy Valley's ethos for many years, decades. Happy Valley is part of a faith community, and the community of Christ has enduring principles that we hold dear here. And a couple of those is the sacredness of creation and responsible choices. As we considered those two enduring principles and our responsibility and stewardship here at Branciforte Creek, it seemed like it was just natural for us to say, yes, we want to be involved in this good work of creek restoration. It made sense at a very foundational level to say, we're going to take out these man-made structures that don't serve the environment anymore. They don't serve a purpose of encouraging this riparian ecology to thrive. So as we look at how do we care for the land and what are the responsible choices that we need to make, we said wholeheartedly, yes, we want to partner with the Resource Conservation District and a variety of other agencies to make this good work happen. It's a great story, and it begins back in 2013. Standing right about in this place, I had an encounter with California Department of Fishing and Wildlife. They were concerned that at this spot, where there was a massive concrete dam that had been built back in the 30s, somehow some wood had been placed there, causing the creek to back up a little bit. Through that interaction, we began to discuss a shared value of creation care and what does it mean to be stewards of a riparian corridor. And that led to a deepening relationship, not just with them, but then with multiple local, state, and eventually federal agencies. During that time, we began to discuss what would it mean to enter into a partnership, a private-public partnership, to remove these concrete dams so that the health of the creek would be restored. With that, could be in the future the return of salmon, which are natural to this stream, return of the salmon to run Branciforte Creek again. So over those years, we started, we stopped, we had funding, we lost funding. Eventually, all of the pieces came into place, and we began working with design engineers and ecologists and a variety of other people who helped us craft what could be done in this place. Not just taking out the dams, but how do we promote the healing and the restoration of this corridor. And so it's a great story of working together, of some push and pull, and probably what impressed me the most was that the Resource Conservation District, along with these partners, continually ask, what would you like to see come of this as well? They listened to us as the landowners and were concerned that our hopes and desires were met along with their goals and objectives for this project. In the end, I think all of us are really excited. I look down and I see water flowing in this place in ways that it hasn't since probably 1936, give or take a few years. And with that then, the creation of parts of this restoration that include woody debris for fish habitat, the reconstruction of creek banks in order to withstand the different changing nature of this creek through rainy seasons. So the working with them in this way and how it has come to fruition, we hope the public-private partnership, that we serve as a model for other people as they are approached about doing similar things, not just in this watershed along Branciforte Creek, but in other places. There can be win-wins that are achieved, and I believe that that's what we have been able to accomplish here in this place. Today we're excited that this project will help restore this watershed in ways that we haven't even imagined yet.
Good morning, my name is Daniel Nyland. I'm the Watershed Restoration Program Manager with the Resource Conservation District of Santa Cruz County. I lead our Watershed Restoration Program and team at the RCD, the Resource Conservation District, and addressing fish passage barriers like we have here at the Happy Valley Conference Center is one of our program areas and priorities to benefit steelhead and endangered coho. So the RCD is taking an integrated and holistic approach to fish passage barriers in specifically the Branciforte Creek watershed, which is the lowest tributary to the San Lorenzo River. So the RCD really works, our whole mission is to work with public and private landowners in Santa Cruz County to steward and restore the natural resources in the county. And so having great partners is essential to successful projects, and this is one example of a very successful partnership and project. Yeah, so we're only a couple miles upstream of the confluence with the San Lorenzo River. So we're working all along the creek and upstream from here, addressing fish passage barriers. So it's all about connectivity up and down the river. And so we, for example, removed a dam in 2013 upstream from here. So every time we remove a dam, we just open up and connect that much more habitat. And so I believe we opened up about a mile of newly accessible habitat as a result of this project at low flows, which is a critical time period for fish when the flows are low, and that's when a lot of these barriers become issues for passage. Besides the ecological benefits, we're really interested in and excited about providing this as really a classroom for those who visit the site. There's youth science camps here that come, and other people who visit the conference center and use the creek, study the creek. So really we're really excited about them having these dam removals as a site to study how a river and creek responds to dam removal, see how native plants can be reestablished, and monitor the health of this creek corridor over time. Yeah, we hope to leverage this partnership and this project and work with additional interested landowners in the watershed to identify and remove additional fish passage barriers. There are some more out there that we are aware of, and there's probably more that we're not aware of. So we're hoping to use this as an example of a successful partnership that others would be interested in working with us on. I've been really excited and impressed with the sense of stewardship ethic that the Happy Valley Conference Center has. It's been really, an easy partner to work with, and makes the project that much more enjoyable when the landowner is this excited about stewardship, about education. Makes my job easy and rewarding. So that's been awesome.
I'm Paul Frank. I'm the consulting engineer to the Resource Conservation District of Santa Cruz County for this project on Branciforte Creek, where we've removed two historical dams, small dams on the creek on the Happy Valley Conference Center site. So the Branciforte Creek watershed supports steelhead trout, which are a species of concern here, and they will live in, their young will rear and even spawn in the creek. And dams like were here previously where I'm standing would have blocked or made it much more difficult for the steelhead trout to swim upstream to do their spawning. And so by removing the dam and creating a more natural flow condition through that the fish are evolved to swim upstream against, we're bringing the creek back to the way it historically was before human intervention. Really exciting to see things like this come to fruition, obviously, because we can see what the creek is supposed to look like in its natural state here, And getting there required figuring out not only how to remove the concrete of the dam itself, which is anchored into each stream bank and embedded into the bed of the creek, but also how to re-stabilize the areas that we disturb in the process of doing that removal. And so I'm standing on the bottom of an embankment that's been rebuilt with coir fabric and plant installations and some rocks, all natural materials that will hold this stream bank together, both now in the first winter that the stream bank sees, but also as the plants that have been installed grow up, they'll every year make the stream bank stronger and stronger by their presence and their roots and the density of vegetation that they'll create. It was just an incredible privilege to be involved. The folks at Happy Valley, we really have to thank them for being willing to let us come onto their property and do something like this. But it's been a great partnership to be a group of stewards for the watershed and make something really cool happen here that we're all really excited about, and the project looks great.
I'm your general engineering contractor that did your dam removal and restoration out here. It's been really cool to be part of this project. It's been such a long time in the works here. I believe like 15 years. And then I get to come along to put this all together for you. And it's been incredibly good energy every which way I turn. It's been a lot of work. I think it came together rather nicely. And it's been a pleasure working with Happy Valley and the RCD here. I've worked with them before on several other projects, and they've always been a good partner on these environmental projects. But this one is just kind of extra special to get to work in an area like this. This went well for us. And we had a lot of things just, I was able to get the right equipment in here. We didn't have to do it all by hand with jackhammers making a big mess. I was able to remove the ground in larger elements. Yeah, you turned me. I come from the mining industry and everything's very industrial, and this is sort of the reverse of it. Moving a dam, that has this real structural appearance to it, and now it's brought it back, man. It looks very natural, and I'm pleased with the finished product.
Kelly Camara, I am the project biologist. I work with the Resource Conservation District of Santa Cruz County. This project was important because we removed a dam that was a barrier to steelhead that were migrating upstream to spawn in certain flow events. And so the key to this project was to remove the dam and restore the natural hydrology and passage conditions for our local salmonids. Yeah, there's known to be steelhead within this watershed, and historically there was coho salmon. There's a hope that someday we'll see coho here again. This is the lowest tributary in the San Lorenzo Valley River watershed, and so if there was a place to have salmon restored, this would be it. It has a lot of cool, clean water, and with the dams removed, passage upstream to a lot of good pools and spawning habitat. Steelhead are anadromous fish, which means they come up to freshwater streams to spawn and then out migrate back to the ocean after that. And then they return the life cycle, as do their offspring. This watershed connects to the San Lorenzo River far down in the watershed, and it is the lowermost tributary before you get to the Pacific Ocean. After we remove the dams, we want to make sure that we stabilize the banks. We want to cover any disturbed soils so they're protected during rain events and high flows. And we also want to improve the canopy cover that provides shade and food for salmonids, and also understory that provides insects and other food and shelter and cover for salmonids and other wildlife. We chose plantings that are occurring all around us in the watershed, so we wanted to use whatever is local that is known to grow here and has successfully grows here. So we picked a planting palette from the resources around us. Some of the plants were actually harvested from on site, which is the best way to go in terms of revegetating a project. It's just amazing to hear the stream free flowing, next to us without the dam in place. It's another step forward in removing a number of dams that exist within this watershed and returning the stream to its natural condition.